that brokenness within them. And so that's what, that finding that inner power is so important to heal within. So there's not that brokenness, so that they're feeling like they have to be sleeping with the young boys in order to feel accepted.
Correct.
And then, that's what's leading to the pregnancy, right? That's why they're getting pregnant, is because they're sleeping with young men, because they're trying to feel some brokenness, or feeling that acceptance, or feeling some sort of love that they're not getting somewhere else. So how do we teach them that inner power, that inner strength within them? What are those core things that they get to know that we can teach to them, or that we can model to them?
We in India, at least, I do a little bit of counseling. I'm not a counselor, but what my belief is, that stay close to the children. That's the first principle. Stay close. Stay close in the sense that share with them, talk to them, give them values. You know that 90% of them will be out of the window. Doesn't matter. Keep talking. But, the moment you start getting angry, the moment you bring anger into a situation, the moment you bring rebellion into a situation, everything takes a negative turn. So I think a lot of it starts with the elders of the family and what the children are growing up with. And if you have a communication, let's say I'm talking to you. If I keep giving values, it doesn't matter. You're still a rebellion. You go out and do what you... But at the back of your mind, those values do come back to tell you what is right, what is wrong. At least that's a starting point for your own mind. And you have a family to come back to, because you have always assured them that, look, we are always with you. But maybe the cultures are different, so maybe I'm talking...
But the media plays a great role. Well, from what we have seen, I have an only son, and I have my sister has 2 boys. My mom had no boys, only girls. So it was a completely different world, living in a girls' world and then moving into the boys' world. Believe me, it's completely different.
Okay.
It's like from another world. So what we have found is that, yes, values and talking to them, etc. But when the media tells you something different. The media tells you to be half naked. The media tells you it's fun to be called bitch by the songs, blah, blah, blah. Being vulgar means it's okay.
That's true.
So that's 95% of the information the girl gets. The other 5% comes from home. No matter how many times you repeated the media outside and social media.
This is a very vulnerable stage.
Absolutely, it's
you
global.
want to identify with the peers, not with the elders of the family.
But then again, when you work through the grassroots orientation that we do, for example, there's this superb exercise that one of the teenage moms developed. This is not a program that was developed by some psychologist from Harvard PhD. No.
Right.
This is a local program of local teenage girls that somehow managed to survive and share all their stories in a good program that it's run by a community foundation. They ask the questions first to all the girls. Why are you having sex with the boys? And they write them on the wall. And then the girls leave, and then they erase the board and copy all the answers, and then they ask the boys, why are you having fun? So the next 25 minutes, all the group comes together, and the girls cry when they see the boys from the boys' answers. Because we were drunk, we were having fun. I bet on my friend that I was going. And from the girl's side, he's so handsome, he's so cute, he loves me, blah, blah, blah. So that really opens a new perspective for them when they
to
see
the whole
what their
situation, right?
friends think. So those kind of exercises are really changing the
whole
moment
concept.
of the decision.
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't cost a penny.
It doesn't. Yeah. That's true. That is true. Or even talking to people, constantly, and at different levels. As you said, media is one, home is another, council is third one, and the churches or any religious, belief that you may have, they also do have a, bearing. They take care of the mind to a big extent. So the churches or any religious institutions, these are all coming together to try and take care of this, because it doesn't stop here. What about the drugs that come into the life of these teenagers?
Drug and alcohol.
Exactly. Yes. And a lot of the times these are a result of alcohol. People just get carried away. They have no idea. They're lost in their senses at that point of time. After that, it's too late. They're embarrassed to begin with. And then, say, 3 months down the line, what do? Nothing. So, drugs plays a very big role. Now, everywhere in the world, they they do want to control the situation. They want to curb drugs, tobacco, alcohol, drug abuse, all of these. But here again, the lobbies are so strong for these that it's hard to control. I mean, people who are manufacturing drugs, people who are manufacturing alcohol, people who are doing tobacco. The tobacco lobby is, I don't know, in India is so strong. The government will do one ruling, and they're powerful. They are moneyed.
But then again, it's a decision.
Pardon?
It's a decision for a young boy or a young girl to start
Yes,
smoking.
yes.
It's a
But,
decision. It's
but,
not like
but
Yeah.
peer pressure can't be taken away just like that. When you're together, it just happens.
Yeah,
And
it's
it goes from one step to the next, and until you get
remember in our generation, it sounds so old when we say that. My mother would have killed me. My father would have killed me.
Yeah.
I had a teacher. I used to work at a local university. He told me, when a child says my mother would kill me for that, he's okay.
oh
I don't know. I only had one son, but it is.
yeah.
There has to be some kind of authority and then decision making.
decision making.
You're not going to be
You
there
know,
in the shadow.
Well, again,
and a softness into the situation. You have to bring that. You cannot carry the situation with a high-handed attitude, because everybody is approachable if you approach them softly. And even in the worst, when you're drunk, there always comes a stage when you are in a stupor. That's the time to approach them. And then, yeah, absolutely. Approach them, start guiding them. Again, you'll be faced with the same. I mean, it takes a toll on the caretakers, who are the parents or the siblings, because it's not easy.
I think it comes back again to going into the smoking and the drugs and everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
yeah.
another result of looking for acceptance, looking for some way to heal that broken heart.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want to get to, again, is back to, and I would love to hear like 3 points of something like, these are the things that a person that is important for them to hold within them to heal that brokenness within us, because there's just as many young adults as there's older adults still walking around with this broken child within
That's
that
right.
hasn't healed, and they're still looking, they're still going into drugs, they're still going into alcohol, they're still going into promiscuous relationships. I mean, women, they'll get married, they'll get divorced, and they're back into another marriage within 3 months of the time.
Right.
And this is supposed to be the love of their life, like 3 months later. And then they're married for a few more years, and then they get divorced, and then they're married again quite quickly. And there's got to be something before we get to the pregnancy part, before we get to the drug part, that we can teach and instill beyond values, because values to me is still, it's a wonderful, but it's still about how I'm treating somebody else. It isn't about how I can get to know myself. And I think that's the piece that's missing, is finding that strength within ourselves.
No, I think the piece that's missing is finding values within yourself, because you have to grow up with them through the ages. But if you grow up in a situation where the values are missing or less to some extent, that is what you grow up, and that becomes normal for you. You have to evolve over a period of time. It just does not happen. Can you imagine living in a home the way you see the parents are fighting all the time, and abuse, physical abuse? After a while, when the children are growing up, or the boys or the girls, to them that is normal. And so it just carries on through the generations. It is being modified, because as the generations are growing, there is a lot of positive inputs that are going into them from every agency around them, within the country, within the world, the media, everywhere. They're all talking positive. So it is having its effect. But that inherent disgruntledness, the inherent lack of values that you have been, it's very hard to get rid of them. Now, you have brought up your child. You're sitting here doing so well. Uh, and you went through all of these stages. She had a broken home to begin with, and then a teenage boy, a boy when she was a teenager. Husband
You
left
walked the path.
immediately.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So she's been through all of that, and then she's sitting here. And I think that's marvelous. So it's possible. What
So
you've
the-
done,
They need to
what
hear
you've done.
from you. The kind of group that we support, they need to hear from you. If they hear from me that I have the most loving mother and father that will live in this perfect
Yeah, the perfect
blah, blah,
scenario.
blah, they cannot relate to my back, to my past. But this group that they are talking to another teenage mother
Yeah.
and saying, yeah,
And
babies
then
smell wonderful for 5 minutes.
and then what you
Believe
would and then what you would
Yeah.
say is really from your experience, from your heart, from the sincerity with which you speak, and how that hits the other person is very different from what she's saying.
And
And
saying that, for example, the girl that leads the group, the girl that leads the group tells them, was it easy? No. Was I able to quit many times? Yes. So they are telling them it's okay to be frail. It's okay to feel like it's useless trying to go ahead. But if you complete your high school while working from home, you have to work. There are new diapers to be bought, new formula, et cetera, et cetera. The other way is promoting breastfeeding, for example, telling them it's going to be cheaper. Healthy, blah, 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 but it's going to be cheaper.
yeah,
So-
absolutely, yes,
Do the numbers and things like that to be like another 16-year-old mother to them,
true.
saying, I can be your mother. I know what you're going through. No, I'm not your 30-something-year-old mother. I'm 16 like you are, and this is what it's going to be like. And letting them choose the work skills workshops they want. For example, they do like to bake, take baking classes, and do nails, acrylic nails from home, because they have to stay at home to take care of the child. There are no daycare centers when you don't have a job.
No, they
So,
aren't, yes.
so the circle is broken in many different areas. We speak a lot about closing the circle, yeah, but you cannot close the circle in one part because it's still open in many others. So
Absolutely.
education is the key for them. We have the first college graduates in a couple of months, and they are the ones who said, you can do it. It's going to be hard and awful, yes, but you can do it. With the support of the network. Otherwise, being by yourself, you're just going to be a victim of another abuse relationship that you yourself are going to choose.
And it's amazing. I mean, I'm familiar with some of the American schools. They are doing a whole lot to educate their children, especially, as you said, starting with the middle school, late middle school, as they grow up into the higher school. There is constant coaching going on, which is really wonderful. I mean, things that we are surprised with as how much do the children know? It's amazing.
That exercise is amazing.
It is, it is.
It takes more time to do the sort out of the questions,
Yeah,
but they write it from their heart. Something that
Yes.
you have never been able to ask someone, but you really want to know.
yeah,
Do you have any doubts? It's amazing.
yeah.
The biology book is right there without any answers.
Without, yes. And you ask the teachers, they will tell you, but they don't tell you the whole story.
But then the child doesn't want to talk to the teacher.
No,
It's too embarrassing.
no, absolutely, they don't. But the teachers do have a parent-teacher,
Absolutely.
meetings. Otherwise, how would they communicate? How would they complete